Hello, and a very good morning to the amazing, wonderful folks here at Bengaluru. I've been going around the country to various cities and I've been talking about CTV and how CTV has evolved. But today is a little bit more special because my family actually finds its roots right here in the state of Karnataka. So, with that, ಈ ಪ್ರಸ್ತುತಿಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಮಮೆಲ್ಲರೂನು ಸ್ವಾಗತಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ, which means that I welcome you all to this wonderful presentation here today. I'm Nishit, I'm the head of sales for Samsung Ads in India, and more importantly, I've been obsessed with the way that TV has actually been evolving over the last couple of years. In fact, what we've seen is that it changes the playbook for advertisers, for planners, for buyers, in terms of how you actually connect with your audiences today. For the last 15 plus years, I've had the privilege of working at the intersection of technology, data, and advertising. And today I'm going to run you through a couple of very interesting insights which will change the way that you look at how people perceive TV, or what we call as connected television. So, if you imagine about the TV in your homes a couple of years back or even a decade back, the TV used to be a box which used to be connected to a cable connection or a DTH or set top boxes, and majorly driven by content which is based on appointment viewing. But today, the same TV has changed into a very intelligent, dynamic hub where it not only gives you content, but it also understands your preferences, and it also has the capability of recommending certain content to you. With that, even today, we feel that TV is at the center of cultural moments in a Indian household, and it brings together the entire family for a co-viewing immersive experience. And TV still continues to be one of the most aspirational devices in a particular household. TV today does not only serve the purpose of watching content, it is a platform which caters to different need states in a particular household. For the elderly, it is a source of entertainment. For the teens, they use it as a gaming console. For the little ones, it is a platform for learning something new. And in fact, over the past few months, we have also seen audiences engage with TV for their wellness habits. So, when you look at television today, how is it defining the Indian TV ecosystem? As a general trend, we have seen the demand for larger screens have increased multifold. And before coming into the statistics, I am very proud to say that Samsung today has launched its first 100 and 115 inch TVs with the most premium 8K, 4K new QLED screens. But just a thought, I'm not selling TVs. This is just for the information of all of you good people here. So, in the last year itself, when we talk about market dominance, Samsung actually made more than 10,000 crores when it comes to smart TV sales in 2024 alone. And we aim to capture almost 1/3 of the entire TV market in India today. We are pretty close to it. I think by the end of this year, we should be achieving this milestone. So, when we talk about TV screen, there is always this notion of premium televisions. And since we started this business back in 2020, the definition of premium has always been shifting. 3 or 4 years back, 32-inch TVs were something which were majorly sold, and then a 45 or a 49-incher TV was considered as premium. Over the last year, we have seen that definition shift to somewhere about 50 or 55-incher TVs. And today, we are seeing a huge demand for ultra premium TVs, which is actually 75 inches and upwards. So, what is leading to this change? The consumers today who are watching television actually want to have a better experience, whether it comes to the TV screen technology or whether it comes to viewing immersive content or doing much more than the usual stuff on their television screens. Which is the reason why, if you see, the most selling TVs that we have are actually the 8K, 4K frame TVs and the OLED screens. And TV today is actually at the convergence of AVOD, SVOD, fast and linear. I'll talk a little bit more about this in the slides to come. But what we are also very proud to launch is that since the entire world is looking at AI, we have built something which is called as Vision AI. Now, what does Vision AI do? Vision AI basically makes the screens more intuitive. In fact, going forward, you would not be using a remote to interact with your television. The TV today is capable of using gesture controls, and only through gestures you will be able to manage and engage with your television screens. Here's a small snapshot of what is Vision AI and how are we using Vision AI to enrich the user experience that a customer has across our television screens.
Since the moment we turned it on for the first time, it's been there with our favourite shows. But now, with Samsung Vision AI, TV is about something bigger. You.
Me?
Yeah, you. Because your everyday is something to celebrate.
You put way too many in.
And nothing should come between you and the moment.
Total of 1 cup of all-purpose flour.
And because you... Hold on. Did you just turn on the TV by barking? And because your old memories should always feel new.
Oh, you're so good.
You see, for the first time, the most important thing about television isn't playing on television. It's who's watching.
Isn't that exciting? In fact, a few years back, you would consider smart TVs as a very tier 1 metro city phenomenon. However, it's no longer the case. We are seeing CTV become mainstream even in tier 2 and tier 3 markets. For Samsung alone, although Maharashtra and Telangana continue to dominate the active TV user base, almost 20 to 30% of our total active base resides in the tier 2 and tier 3 markets. And CTV is becoming a very important platform even for advertisers to connect with their audiences, where CTV today has crossed the $50 million mark. I know that there are a lot of numbers floating around in the market in terms of what is the actual market share or what is the actual number. But the number that you see here, and when we talk as an OEM about CTV, we only talk about the actual active devices, which are the TVs. We have also seen a steady increase in terms of active TV bases, which has gone up by almost 27 to 28%. And when it comes to advertiser spend, we are seeing a lot of advertising spends move to CTV. And CTV today has become mainstream in terms of the line items which are created in a complete media mix. In fact, in the last year alone, we have seen a 30% increase when it comes to ad spends on connected television. When you talk about CTV, and if you have to dive a little bit deeper, and for your benefit, if I have to put it into numbers, almost 90% of the time spent on a television is spent on streaming content, and only 10% of the time is spent on watching linear content. So does that mean for advertisers, the people who have shifted from linear to streaming, are they lost? No, they aren't. When it comes to adopting newer modes, people are today consuming content on AVOD and SVOD, and FAST. And for the uninitiated, FAST is free advertising streaming television, which is gaining momentum in India. Samsung TV Plus is Samsung's own proprietary FAST service in India today. In fact, since we are sitting right at the cusp of the festive season, over the last year, we have seen almost a 28% increase on active TV units during the festive season, which means that during festive, people are actually tuned into televisions, which brings me back to my previous point, wherein the TV continues to be at the center of cultural moments in an Indian household. Every one of us knows about this concept called as national prime time. So we were actually wondering whether national prime time actually works on connected TV, or is it still linear phenomena? The short answer is yes, it does. If you see this chart here, almost 97% of total active users stream content during the national prime time. And if you look at the linear viewing behavior across the day, if you average it out, it comes to somewhere about 10%. But during the national prime time, that number actually decreases to about 3%. Samsung TV Plus today is the number 2 watched app across apps on Samsung connected TVs. And if you look at what this user profile looks like, and since we know that AVOD is growing at a much faster pace, almost 86% of total AVOD users across Samsung TV consume Samsung TV Plus. Adoption and retention has always been a challenge for OTT platforms and challenge for content providers, because you would want the audience to come back to your service and consume more and more content. With Samsung TV Plus, and this is really exciting and amazing, that we have seen a 73% adoption and retention rate over 2 quarters, which means that once a user is hooked onto Samsung TV Plus, he comes back month on month, quarter on quarter to consume content. When it comes to the reach of Samsung TV Plus, what it does, it gives the advertisers a medium to reach the users who have moved away from linear, whether it's in tier 1 cities or in tier 2 cities. So how does Samsung actually help advertisers win in this evolving CTV landscape? We partnered with Kantar and we just launched a white paper which is called as Beyond Awareness. And we studied almost more than 100 brand lift studies, and to see whether it actually impacts the end marketing metrics, whether it is creating brand lift or driving awareness. And we are happy to tell you that it almost drives about 2x the growth in these specific brand KPIs across all the 100 brand lift studies. Samsung today is the number 1 OEM in the market. We have more than 14 million active TV sets in the country, catering to a captive base of almost 65 million. When it comes to our inventories, if your campaign objective is awareness or impact, we have something called as the Samsung Household Takeover, where you can now not only block the Samsung household for the entire 24 hours, but you can also block it for either 12 hours or 6 hours. This as a strategy has worked brilliantly well, especially for the tentpole moments like cricket. When it comes to sustenance, we have seen a 27% increase when you actually merge home screens or native ad units along with video ad units. And lastly, if you are looking at engagement, we have something which is called as actionable ads, where you can take the user either through a QR code onto a secondary screen, or advertisers today are actually building websites which are compatible with different TV OSs. All of this is possible. Just give me 2 minutes. All of this is possible because of this technology which is called as ACR, which is automatic content recognition. With automatic content recognition, you can actually today drive incremental reach over and above your linear television plan for the fraction of the money that you spend. The next lever is basically frequency management, and this is my earnest request to all the advertisers, planners and buyers. Do not plan CTV campaigns the way that you plan mobile or desktop campaigns, because TV is not an always-on device. It is not a 1:1 device, it is a 1:many device. And what we have observed is that when you run your campaign at a frequency of 4+, and that is what Pratik was also saying in the earlier session, is that you drive almost 2x the uplift when it comes to KPIs. So right now, we can cater to almost about 3.5 million unique users in a particular day, reaching to about 25 million household impressions. And we deliver some of the best VCR benchmarks in the country, which is about 80% for an average ad duration time of 20 seconds. If you are looking at measurement, we have got you covered, where we have the detailed campaign metrics, which is impression, reach frequency, VCRs. But if you want to dive more detailed into your post-campaign performance, we can also help you with incremental reach reports, which is the exposure report, where it can tell you exactly where your ad ran on the linear platforms, in which channel, at what time of the day, and so on and so forth. And if you have an app on our Tizen ecosystem, we can also give you an app uplift and an app retention report. For BLSs, we have tied up with Kantar, and Kantar actually helps us deliver independent BLSs to all the advertisers who are looking for BLS. So to sum it up, when it comes to Samsung, I would emphasize again that we are the number 1 OEM in the country. You actually reach the audiences where you actually meant the campaign to reach at. We are a completely transparent platform where you can put any kind of measurement tools that you want. We pass back all data right up to the device ID, and it's a complete brand safe environment. And what we give you is complete deterministic data, no probabilistic, no multipliers, nothing. It is just pure deterministic 1:1 data. So with that, thank you so much for being patient, audience. If you have any more questions, we'll be around. We'll be happy to answer all your questions. Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a great day ahead.